Hello and welcome to this week's YouTube video. Today we are going to go over the market statistics for July 2023. Today's video is going to be slightly different than what we've done in the past. Today we are going to include some areas that we don't generally cover. We've got Waterloo on the table, we have Barrie on the table as well. We've also got Hamilton on the table here. These are three areas that we've had a lot of clients decide they want to move to. So we want to make sure that we have all of our bases covered and provide that value to all our clients and future clients that are watching these videos right now. Before I get started, if you don't mind, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of the YouTube things. If you can do those, more people can get out there and see these videos. So before we get into the actual statistics here today, we need to keep in mind we are in the summer. We're at the beginning of August now, and if you look back over a 20-year trend, the market typically will slow down at the back half of June when school finishes up for the kids, and then it will pick up again second week of September, give or take. And right now, we are in that slowdown period. There are some other factors we need to consider. There's no question about it. We've had some interest rates increasing in the last couple announcements from the Bank of Canada. So we know those are taking some effect on what the market is offering today. But we also need to remember that there are market trends. There are certain times of year that are better to get a good deal. There are better times to sell. And if we are working our way back to that norm, I want everybody to understand that slow summer months are very normal. And that's what we're running into right now. June, very slow month. July, slow as well. It is the summertime. People are busy. I'm out with my kids having a great time enjoying other things while they're not in school. They don't have the other distractions going on. And a lot of families are the same. If you have kids that you wanted to move to a new school or a new area, you're generally buying something before the end of the school year so you can move in and comfortably get yourself settled in that new area before the new school year starts up. So people are usually thinking quite a bit ahead when it comes to moving, especially if there's a family that's being considered here. All right, we're going to start off with Toronto. Toronto is a beast in itself. We already know Toronto's a very expensive place to live. It's one of the more sought after places around the world. We're often being compared to cities like New York, Miami, and then Toronto gets thrown in there. As we've seen the prices increase in Toronto, it's become much more of a renter city, and I don't know how much that will change in the future, but I do have the 2023 July numbers right here, and we're going to start off with the detached properties. So if you're looking to buy a house with a 416 postal code, the average detached is 1,641,000. The average semi-detached property is at 1.257. The average townhouse, we're talking a no-fee townhouse, is going to cost you $1,019,000 in Toronto. And then if you get down to that condo price point, you're at $753,000 is the average condo in the Toronto area. We already know Toronto does have that higher price range, but as the interest rates continue to go up, Toronto is actually coming to its own struggles. There's a lot of pre-construction. There's a lot of pre-construction that is actually having more difficulty selling out than it has at any other point in time. And there's a lot of resale product that's just not moving. Condos in general have had a very difficult time moving over the course of the last 2 months, especially with these interest rate increases. So going forward, it will be interesting to see how these sales combat what's happening with the government, what kind of pre-construction projects are coming up, and if they become more enticing than the resale, or if resale picks up because it's something you can buy today and you're not waiting 5, 10 years to get into one of these projects that you may never actually see the end of at the end of the day. So after that, we're going to get into Mississauga. And in Mississauga, they actually had 465 sales across all categories in the month of July. You've got an average detached of 1.380. We have an average semi-detached home selling for $1,049,000. Condo townhouses are at $810,000. The average condo itself is $610,000 in Mississauga, so still surpassing that $600,000 threshold, which makes it difficult. The townhouses with no fees, you're talking $1,075,000 just to get yourself in the door there. Next on the docket, we're going to stay in Peel. We're going to cover Brampton for you. They had 363 sales in the July month, and your average detached was sitting there at $1,239,000. The average semi, $944,000, $749,000 for the average condo townhouse. The average townhouse without a fee, $904,000, and your average condo, keep in mind there's only 26 sales. Brampton does not have a ton of condos at the moment, but your average condo is $556,000. $556,000 is a nice number. I still think it's pretty high for you to get yourself into the condo market, but we'll have to see what happens with the market going forward, if that becomes more affordable or if that just becomes the new status quo. Now we're going to finish up Peel. We're going to cover Caledon, but Caledon always has very minimal amount of sales because it's a smaller place. It's not going to have what Brampton and Mississauga have in terms of the volume of sales. So you had 65 transactions, very, very small amount, 51 of those being detached. Your average detached home sale was 1.497. Your average semi-detached on 5 sales was at $1,022,000. There's no condos, no condo townhouses that were sold, but there was a handful. We had 9 sales that were townhouses with no fees, and that was at $984 for the average in Caledon last month. So one of the more popular areas that we've been dealing with a lot of clients is the Halton region. We'll start in Halton in the Burlington area, and your average Burlington townhouse with a fee was $841. Your average detached in Burlington was at $1.531, so a nice strong average detached price. Semi-detached just over $1 million at $1,045,000. The condos, there's 39 sales, not a ton, but there are some condos there averaging $716,000. If you're looking for a townhouse with no fees, you're talking $1,016,000 being that average price point. Sticking in Halton, I'll take you to Milton, where there was 129 sales, so not bad for volume. Your average detached is 1.303. Your average semi-detached is $1,011,000. Your average condo townhouse is $779,000, so just shy of $800 there. Your average condo itself, just this condo apartment, $667,000, and your average townhouse, $918 with no fees. And to round out Halton, Oakville, we already know what we're going to see here. We're going to see some strong numbers coming out of Oakville. So there was 179 sales, and the average detached home sold for $2.1 million in Oakville. Your average semi is at $1.131, only on 2 sales, so a very skewed number. Your average condo townhouse at $1,128,000. Your average condo apartment, $823,000, and your average townhouse, no fees, $1,172,000. I'm never worried about Oakville if the market falters. Oakville is very strong, and just to give you an idea here, Oakville was at 98% of the asking price. So July as a whole, we did see a step back. We're not seeing everything selling over asking anymore. We actually are under 100% of asking for the month. And Oakville, it's holding pretty strong on itself, at least for the time being. Now, because we've been dealing with some clients out in the Hamilton area and we've had some requests for Hamilton to be covered, we're going to include Hamilton as well. And in the month of July, there's 381 sales in Hamilton. Your average detached home actually sold for $939,000. So this is going to be the most affordable that we've discussed thus far for a detached. Your semis were at $780,000, condo towns $630,000, condo apartments $511,000. So there are some affordability options here. There's affordable condos that you're not going to find in the tighter GTA, and a townhouse with no fees, $758,000. So there's some more affordable options here. Hamilton has changed a lot. There's some great areas in Hamilton now, and there's some bad areas, just like there are in every city. So if you're one of those people who's still kind of hesitant when you hear Hamilton, I don't think you should be as hesitant as you maybe once were in the past. Now that we finished up in Hamilton, we're going to do Waterloo. This is the first time we're covering Waterloo region, and I figure because there are some more affordable options and we also have clients out in the Waterloo area, we may cover this so you can see what the difference in the value is and what you can actually get for your money in the Waterloo region. So 308 sales, you've got a detached average of 944,000. Nice affordable number if you're comparing to other cities. You've got 672,000 for the average semi-detached. Your average condo townhouse, 604. And your average condo, below that 500 threshold at 492,000. Starting to sound more affordable, at least for the time being. And your average townhouse at 723,000 without a fee. Waterloo is one of those areas where it's a nice hub. There's a lot of tech here. There's a lot of people who do commute to the city still because you are just about an hour away from the city. It's not the end of the world when you're talking length of the drive to get in. And you've got a lot of diversity in property. You've got some older areas, so you're going to have more semis like you would in Toronto. You've got some new developments in Cambridge and Kitchener that are going to give you the availability for schooling close to some of the universities for rental properties. You've got condos being thrown up all over Waterloo. So there's a lot more options that are going to keep these prices a little bit more tame when we're comparing it to stuff that we've already discussed. Now I've got two more that I want to cover here today. I've got Vaughan, and then following Vaughan, we'll cover Barrie area. So Vaughan, there was 240 sales. The average detached sold for $1,799,000. The average semi at 1,179. The average condo town 850,000. The average condo apartment style 746 grand. Average condo and the average townhouse 1,221. So just over 1.2 million for the average townhouse with no fees associated with it at all. Vaughan, we all know, is a huge hub. You've got Transit City there now. You've got ability to actually hop on the subway there and get yourself downtown. So Vaughan has become a lot more accessible than it ever was. You're off the 400 and 407, so heading up north or heading into the city is just super easy and convenient. Yes, there's a lot of traffic and it's busy, but that is essentially every city right now in the GTA, and it doesn't slow down even when you get in the outskirts. In some cases, you're in Waterloo, and it feels just as busy as the Peel region sometimes. And today we're going to finish up in Barrie. We haven't covered Barrie, but we do have clients out in that area. So 194 sales in Barrie in the last month. 121 of those were detached, giving you the average of 871,000 for a detached property. 662 for a semi, only on 12 sales, so take that with a grain of salt. You've got 11 condo townhouse sales for an average of 550,000. Very affordable for a condo townhouse. You've got regular townhouses at 692, and then you have some condo apartments, 27 sales, just shy of 600,000 at 599,000. Now, what do all these numbers mean? Over the course of this video, I've spit these numbers at you. You're seeing the differences in what's available all the way from Waterloo to Barrie, essentially, covering yourself through Toronto and the GTA. You're noticing a lot of these prices are starting to kind of taper back a little bit. It's still very difficult to find an area that's affordable. Obviously, the further you go from the city, the more affordable options you're going to be able to get. So your Barrie, your Hamilton, and your Waterloo are the most affordable areas that we've discussed today. Closer you get to Toronto, the more expensive it generally is going to be. And the further away you get from the city, you're going to be able to find something that might work in your favor. It doesn't mean that you have to move hours away from the city to get something. You're never actually forced to buy a property. Renting a property could be just as advantageous for you. I just want you to keep in mind that the rental market right now is also bananas. It's actually more difficult to get a property to rent than it is to just go and buy a house today. If you want to buy a house today, you can negotiate, you can do your conditions. The market is definitely slowed down. If you want to rent a property today, you're going to compete with multiple offers on a rental, which sounds absolutely crazy. July is finished. We're into August. What are we expecting going forward? I expect more of the same throughout August. August may even be potentially slower than July, but I do anticipate by the end of August and getting into the beginning of September, we see a lot more properties starting to hit the market, and that's normal. That's part of the ebbs and flow of the real estate market. September will be a better market numbers wise, I can almost guarantee it, than your July and August. It always is when we are on this regular trajectory for the real estate market. So I hope you found some value in what I've presented with you guys today. This is just a breakdown of the numbers and what's moving, what the prices are looking like. But if you want something specific on a community that you live in, if you live in the Peel region and you want to know, Fletcher West and Brampton, let me know. I'd be happy to break down those specific numbers for your specific housing type. And if you have no questions for me, I will see you in the next market update video, which you will get in the first week of September. I wish all the kids a safe back to school. All the parents enjoy the rest of your summer here before the kids are back, and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.